Well, hello everyone. Good morning and welcome to Friday. Yay! Friday. Significant for those who don't work the weekends, but not so significant for those who still have to work tomorrow. But it's Friday. And we have this ingrained thing about us on Fridays, right? It's the end of the week, the end of another week's labor. And we are at the end of Jeremiah. The last two chapters in Jeremiah, 51 and 52. And it's been a good read. There's been a lot of stuff in here, and there's a number of people who don't enjoy Jeremiah because Jeremiah is so negative. But if that's all you want to concentrate on, the negativity, I can understand that. But there's also a lot of promise, a lot of hope, a lot of after the rain, there is sunshine. His mercies are new every morning, right? And what should really be encouraging to you is to know that the Lord is always in charge. We can see here that before Israel came into the Promised Land, the nations had become really wicked, really terrible, really deviated from anything that the Lord could accept from them. And I assume that he sent warnings and prophets of some sort and some kind of messengers to them to warn them, as we see that he did with Nineveh and places like that. And through Jeremiah, we can see that he did send warnings to nations, that he cared about the nations. But they didn't respond or whatever, and they continued in their ways. So he sent Israel in to remove them, and to be the place where he would reveal himself to the nations all around. That's what Israel's place was. They were to remove the blight that had become in the nations, and they were to be used by Yahweh to glorify himself, so the nations would discover who he is. But they deviated. They went really bad. They became worse than the nations who had been there before them. And Yahweh was very patient with them. Generation after generation after generation. He sent warnings. He sent prophets. He gave them time. But they didn't turn back. They didn't return to him. And so he raised up another nation, Babylon, to deal with them and the nations that were around them, because those nations had also become really bad. It was just a really terrible time in the world at that moment. And but Babylon, the Lord knew that Babylon would go too far. He was sending them in as his instrument of correction. He was making Babylon great, an absolute powerhouse. But they went too far. They wiped out so many people. When you read, they only deported like 4,000 Israelites. So where were all the rest? Well, Judah, I should say, referring to Judah. 4,000 for Judah. There were a lot more people in Judah than that. They left behind the poorest of the poor. But the number of people that were killed was just off the scale. And so God announced that he would end their time. There would be a season. There's always seasons. There would be a season, and then their end would age. Their age would end, and he would remove them from the face of the earth, which he did through the Midianites. It's really something else. But we should be encouraged that he's in charge, and we're on his side. We're on his side. We've got to stop picturing that he's against us. That he's here to punish us, and that no, not whatsoever. This is an age of grace, and I'm not going to get into all of that. But we're on his side. He's for us. He's not against us. We're his children. We're the army, the angels of the army, but we are the army of righteousness. We are his workers in this world. We are the ones who go into the world to influence the world. It's a totally different approach that is being taken right now to win back the world. We're like the prophets that go into the world and tell people about God. Let him be revealed through us so that they can see and we have freedom. So if we decide to walk away, we walk away. He will bring correction, because there is a path marked out for us. There's definitely a path of righteousness. There's all kinds of choices in that path, but we need to continue on in that path. And we need to know that path. We need to discover it. We need to learn. And when we deviate, he comes along and he provides correction, not punishment, but correction. But if we want to walk away, we get to walk away. That's as simple as that. That's the freedom that we have. But knowing that he's in charge means that he knows everything that's going on. He knows everything. And we're not here for ourselves, but he does take care of us. He takes care of us. So those should be encouraging things that we get out of these last couple of chapters of Jeremiah. And I pray that as you go into this day, that you go in with strength and encouragement and hope, enthusiasm, joy, and just get yourself renewed. Do some declarations today. It may sound weird and funny, but declarations work, because it's also, we're declaring to ourselves, I am a child of God. I am loved. I am pursued by him. I am cherished by him. I'm provided. I'm cared for. He's with me all the time. I'm his instrument of love and care in this world. And he wants to use me for that. And he builds me up, and he doesn't tear me down. And you just declare these things and declare them until you feel them and you're reminded of the truth of them. So you be blessed, be encouraged, and I'm looking forward to seeing you, most of you, tonight. God bless.